So police have arrested a New York City homeowner and hit her with a summons after a fiery standoff with alleged squatters she's been trying to evict. Adele Andolaro was trying to sell her parents' $1.2 million house last month when she realized that there were squatters that had moved in. She then changed the locks, which landed her in cuffs. Here in New York City, squatters have rights, and they can claim those rights after just 30 days. It then becomes illegal for a property owner to change the locks. Andolaro has now been forced to begin an incredibly arduous legal process to get them evicted. Many point out that process takes much longer than it does for squatters to get rights in the first place. And this is much bigger than New York. I spoke to the founder of Squatter Hunters about how the legal system is failing these victims.
Homeowners are feeling helpless and, not much they can do. There needs to be a clear distinction between tenant rights and squatter rights. Squatters need to be criminal. It needs to go to criminal court and figured out by a judge. And I think that one of the big things that needs to happen is there should be fines, penalties, jail time, but restitution. These homeowners should be able to recover money to repair their homes.
Charly Arnolt is OutKick.com host, and she joins us now. Yes. This story just continues to boggle me. I've had him on the program twice, and I still don't understand, A, how they can get those rights so fast, the squatters, and B, how the process to get them out takes even longer.
Well, I also don't understand how is it dated? Do they have some type of calendar where they put up in the home that they're squatting in? We moved in on this date. Yeah. Now it's been 30 days, so you no longer have your rights. But really, Sandra, this is the level of clown show that New York City has become. Squatters, illegals, criminals, they have more rights than people that follow the law and pay their own loans. I mean, look what happened to Daniel Penny when he was trying to protect people on the subway. Look what happened to this woman when she just changed the locks on her own home, taken away in cuffs. But I feel like moral of the story is you get what you vote for. I know. And then even if you figure out before the 30 days when they can claim those rights, the process to then remove them takes so long that while you're trying to get them out, the 30 days is up. Well, and it's expensive. I mean, you got to feel for these people. You just talked about how arduous of a legal process is going to be, how expensive. This woman, who knows, maybe she can't even keep the home that belonged to her parents after it's all said and done because she has so many legal fees to pay for people that don't even have a right to be there in the first place.
People are boggled by this. Okay, meanwhile, Christine Blasey Ford is back on the scene and making the rounds to promote her new memoir. The liberal media are welcoming her back with open arms. Her book is about her testifying back in 2018 against then Supreme Court Justice nominee Brett Kavanaugh. She, you'll remember, accused him of sexually assaulting her back in the 1980s. The FBI did investigate during the confirmation process, but was unable to corroborate Ford's claims. Kavanaugh vehemently denies it, and he was ultimately confirmed to the Supreme Court. But that did not seem to matter on The View yesterday.
What we need to understand is that they have to step up and help us. We can't do this ourselves. I noticed that a lot. I watched while people were clapping. Some of the men did not clap in this audience.
You have a PhD in psychology. You're a professor. You teach at Palo Alto and Stanford universities. But even today, some people remain skeptical of your story.
Molly Hemingway, editor-in-chief of The Federalist, posted a long list of reasons why. A few of them are right here. No evidence that Ford and Kavanaugh ever met. All alleged witnesses strongly dispute the claim. Ford changed the date of the incident by years from her initial stories, and nothing in Kavanaugh's past remotely similar to the claim. Wow. And there they had a field day with her on the set, and Behar even at one point scolded the men in the audience for not applauding her.
Well, we're here to praise the men in the audience who did not clap because they are able to see exactly through the situation for what it is. It's the exact same thing that E. Jean Carroll is doing to Donald Trump. It's the exact same thing that happened to Russell Brand. He had a slew of sexual assault allegations come against him after he started speaking out against Big Pharma. The same thing happened to Brett Kavanaugh. I mean, it's very clear in this country, even with zero proof, the Democrats will go to any lengths that they can to attack you if you are a conservative man. Unfortunately, men, heed this warning. In Biden's America, you are not safe here. So I think this is clear by what we're seeing going on right now with this case.
They were fawning over
Oh, my gosh.
And that is not an exaggeration.
Well, and just like they talked about, there's no proof. She didn't have any witnesses. There was no location. There was no date. no one backed her up. Her friends and family didn't even back her up. What does that say?
By the way, Molly Hemingway's response, those are just a few that she listed. Oh
my
it's
gosh.
a long
We don't have enough time for
list that she published of why people are skeptical. All right. Meanwhile, big backlash and calls for a boycott now after Planet Fitness revoked this woman's membership.
A little girl sitting in the corner, she could have been 12 years old. I don't know how old she was, in a towel, kind of freaked out that there's a man shaving in her locker room. Well, I was offended. I took a picture of him and I asked him, why are you there? He justified by saying, I'm queer LGB. This morning I got canceled. Planet Fitness is defending the man in the women's locker room.
Wow, the gym defended itself, citing its non-discrimination policy. But the gym seems to be paying a price. Its stock plunged nearly 8% at one point yesterday. And a scathing opinion headline canceling women who won't tolerate biological men in their gym locker room is a ridiculous new low. Charlie, wow, they seem to be paying the price for this decision.
Well, go woke, go broke.
Wow.
I hope to see their stock plummet even more, all the way to zero, perhaps, unless they want to reverse course, change their policy, and even apologize to this young girl who's probably scarred for a very long time after seeing a man inside of the locker room. And it's really just disgusting because you see Planet Fitness, so many other establishments giving full reign to these grown men, believing that they're sane, which clearly that they're not. Because if you identify as trans, you must have something mentally wrong with you in the first place. And just to take it a step even further, let's not be naive to think that there aren't just sickos out there who just want to prey on women and children in a space that's supposed to be theirs and provide them privacy. So shame on Planet Fitness.
Incredible. Charlie, great to see you.
Good to see you as
Good
always.
to catch up with you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.